Hey guys, I'm Cardfight here, and today I'm here with meta analysis of the current game, and as well as my thoughts on the 16 card G zone, because that's apparently what you guys want to learn about or hear my opinions about. So yeah, let's just talk about it. So let's talk about the current meta. So here is my take on the tier tier list. At the top, we have Sanctuary Guard decks. Um, Mainly, it's because they can generate a lot of cards very early on in the game. For example, they can use Benon to net pretty much 2 free cards. Um, it's pretty strong, and even if you have Benon and like a 6K and you Shrine into a galley, you still hit for a pretty good number. It's like 20 something plus. So it's 17 plus 6, so 23, I think. So yeah, it'll still force 15k guard out of your opponent's hand. So yeah, it's pretty solid, and yeah, so it's like a four card Sentry Guard deck. So I mean like 4 grade 3 Sentry Guard deck. So the deck mainly runs 4 grade 3s, and it has the Blaster engine. So it has like you can chain attack. Overall, it's just pretty strong. Yeah. So after that, we have the next we have like Aquaforce, Gear Chronicles, and Phantom Blaster, or Shadow Paladins, I guess. Obviously Gear Chronicle, restanding stuff, Time Leap, Chain Attacks, pretty strong. This deck is a little slower than the other decks, but you can make up for it with a lot of power. And next stage is a very strong finisher. So even if you can't finish it, you can just keep chain attacking with your rear guards, and it's pretty scary. So that's why Gear Chronicles are on the list. Next, we have Aquaforce. They're kind of dropping off now, but I see a lot of Savas builds and some Blue Wave decks up there. And yeah, that's all I can say. Aquaforce has always been a pretty strong clan. They're not topping as much as they used to, so they're probably gonna swap out the next meta if they don't get any new stuff, which I don't think they will. Unless the stuff next set is pretty garbage, then they'll probably still be on there. Um, yeah, next we have Shadow Paladins. I mean, Shadow Paladins again. Uh, it's a deck that's been topping for quite a long time, and again they are also kind of dropping off the list because they can't generate as much advantage as a Sanctuary Guard deck can. The main deck they top with right now is Raging Form Abyss. So with that, you can uh, deal a lot of damage to your opponent early game. The meta right now is I would say it's pretty fast. It's mainly based around slapping down a bunch of cards early game so that you can deal your opponent a lot of damage. So by the time you stride, you can go for game. And yeah. The main problem with Shadow Paladins is that if you're playing Raging Form build, a lot of times if you don't get the comp, it's pretty inconsistent compared to the other options you have to play in the game right now, which is another reason why they're kind of dropping off the list. But if you do get the combos off, it is extremely powerful. So yeah, and it's also not that great against in mirror matches. So yeah, uh, the decks that we're seeing, actually no, next to talk about Link Joker. Link Joker is another deck that's kind of dying off now. Um, the main problem with this deck is that if you're playing against a deck that can generate a lot of advantage or chain attacks early game, then it's kind of hard for this deck to come back because this thing mainly shines mid game when you have your opponent's field under your control. If your opponent can stall you out, then and you've run out of strides, then you're not in a very good position because either one you're going to deck out, or because if you stay on Chaos Breaker, it's honestly not that great now. So yeah, if you don't win by the time you finish using your strides, then it's pretty good game. But there's quite a lot of variants out there that I see that are topping. There's like some Amnesty build with the Chaos. I personally don't prefer it, but yeah, there's some people that run Arrestor and stuff because they run Amnesty in their decks and stuff. There's also a reverse build that I saw. I think I only saw one of those though, but it's quite interesting, I guess. It still runs universe, but it has like reverse units in it. It's kind of funny. I think they Glandios and whatnot, but yeah. These two decks that we're seeing top a lot more frequently now. One surprising one is Angel Feather. I mean, they're a really good stall deck, so yeah, and they can also generate power if necessary. So they're pretty good, pretty solid deck. I think I saw like 3 or 4 decks that topped. Not a lot of people playing this in Hong Kong. Mainly in Hong Kong, you see these. In Japan, you see some of these. Yeah, I think in Japan, these two decks are kind of the decks are kind of surprising to see. Grand Blue I can see. They're using either 7Cs. I see a lot more 7Cs than I do Night Rose decks. 7Cs, it's quite an interesting deck. I might do a deck profile on that later, but yeah, it's pretty trollsies. And Grand Blue is another deck that can do chain attack if you're playing Night Rose. If you can see in the current meta, it's a lot more rearguard reliant than in previous metas. I mean, since the G zone, the G era, it became a lot more about rearguards, but compared to the Minerva, Viking Form, Sing Saber, Abyss era game, those previous generations of Vanguard, you can see a lot more rearguard plays now. I mean, there's some decks that still rely on rearguards, like Shadow Paladins. I mean, Vanguard that rely on Vanguard, like Shadow Paladin. But there's other decks that, like Gear Chronicle, that have really strong restanding Vanguard, and they have really good rearguards. Those decks tend to have an advantage. Yeah. I'm not going to talk too much about No Seal because I haven't actually tested the build myself, but yeah, there's a lot of people that run like Clay Elementals or something with it. Yeah, there's like it's kind of interesting. I don't really know how the deck works, but because I haven't tried it, but it's topping, so apparently it must be doing something right. Yeah, they're running 4 No Seals for the Great 3s, and then that's it. No Gabriel. It's pretty interesting. Alright, that's pretty much for the meta. It's pretty interesting, I guess, but we've always seen these decks for the past like 3 metas, I guess. This guy maybe not so much, but these ones have definitely been dominating for a long time. So with these things sort of dropping off, it's kind of happy. What's surprising is that actually it's not that surprising, but Kage Road couldn't come back with the Legend deck. They still need a bit more stuff, so hopefully with the new set, they will get some good support so that they can climb back up on the top list. We'll see. Yeah. Let's talk about the 16 card G zone. So there's some clans that benefit a lot more than other clans do from the 16 card G zone. Mainly the main character clans that have a lot of G units released for them already. They kind of benefit a lot more because they have a lot more options to pick from. Since a lot of people before, like if you're playing Aquaforce, people might run I'm gonna run 4 Lambros, so I can only run 2 Salvas and then 2 something else. But now with the 16 cards, you can run 4 Lambros, 4 Salvas, and then you can run like 4 or something else, and then 4 G Guardians. I'll also go talk about G Guardians too, because they're kind of interesting. So yeah, like Aquaforce, Gear Chronicle also greatly benefits from having 16 card G Zone because they have a lot of nice tech cards, and I guess sort of people who sort of argue that they don't need 4 next stage doesn't really have an argument anymore, since you can just play it anyway. Just play 4 next stage. I probably have to go grab 2 more next stage myself, but yeah, next stage with 16 card slots, then you can run 4 next stage pretty freely, and then run 12 of other stuff. Assuming you're going to run G Guardian, then you're run less, but you can still run a lot of stuff. Like your G Zone doubled in size, so yeah, it's. I don't know why they made it double in size. I thought if they made 8 cards for G Zone and 4 G Guardians, then that'll be pretty good already. But they had to double it, so I guess it's a way to make people buy more cards, since you can have more slots in your G Zone. I guess it's part of Bushiroad's plan to make monies. Yeah, so we'll see. Maybe they'll include another G mechanic in the game soon that will restrict your, I mean, maybe it's like 4 G Guardians and 4 G something else. That might be pretty useful also. Yeah, also, I guess it makes G assists a lot less disadvantageous. Yes, that's what I want to say. Sorry, brain fart. And G Guardians. G Guardians are kind of interesting. I'm not sure how much they'll change the game. They'll definitely make guard restriction cards a lot weaker, because you just get pretty much 20k free shield if you ditch Shield Trigger. If you guys don't know what G Guardian is, it's a new card. It's not out yet. It'll come out in Fighters Collection, but it's a green card that goes in your G Zone, and activates when you ditch a Heal Trigger from your hand, and then you can activate. You can call a G Guardian, which has, I think, base 15k shield, and depending on another effect that you another condition that you can fulfill, then it'll get another 5k. For now, I guess that's how things work. Maybe it'll get more later, but yeah, for now it's 20k shield. So at the cost of 1 card, at the cost of 1 heal trigger, you can get 20k shield, which is pretty good, I guess. Definitely makes guarding against guard restriction cards a lot easier. But the condition is that you do have to ditch a heal trigger, so you gotta heal grab those heal triggers and keep those heal triggers in your hand. So if you want to guard early game, then I guess you can't with heal triggers. Yeah, I guess it adds a new element to the game. It's kind of interesting. We'll really have to see how it really works before we can I can make any more additional comments. But yeah, the 16 card G Zones really does help out the main character clans already. For the not so main character clans, like for example Mega Colony and I guess Nubatama, basically all the non-main character clans that don't really have that many options, they're just gonna have a bunch of empty slots, I think. Or they'll have a bunch of generic units that you probably won't shred into anyway in the first place, like those rare units that you get from booster boxes or the trial deck ones. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe with the Fighters Collection, since they're pretty generic, hopefully, those slots will be filled up. I guess I'll have to get a lot more Fighters Collection now, because those cards look pretty okay for a 16 card G Zone. But that's pretty much it for me today. I'm finished rambling. Yeah, sorry about not posting. I just finished like 3 assignments last week, so I have a bit more free time now. But next week will be my last week of school, so hopefully after that I can post a lot more often. And Pledge Collection is coming out. Daigo set is coming out. Daigo deck, I mean, and the Gold Paladin thing is coming out soon too. So a lot of content for you guys soon. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. This is Card Otaku, and I'll see you guys there.